of indigenous survival. I'm your host, Jeff Gibson. I'm going to do another one on traps today. Hopefully you've already saw my first one on them. The trap I'm going to show you today uses a lot of the same components, set up just a little bit different, but I'll show you that in just a moment, and I'm going to start that. But I just want to stress that same thing I've always stressed before, which is only do this stuff in terms of real survival. As Les Stroud is so famous for saying, and I totally agree, and I'm just paraphrasing some of what he said, is survival is not pretty. Survival is not meant to be comfy. If you want comfy and pretty, camp. You know, set up a campfire, roast some marshmallows, some hot dogs, even grill a steak and drink a beer. Doesn't sound bad to me, but survival is down, it's dirty, it's unpleasant, and it's meant to be that way because it's called survival. Not camping, not glamping, nothing like that. It's when your life is totally in jeopardy. That's when you need to do it. I mean, I got a bunch of squirrels that's been around here watching me. I've fed some. I think my wife can maybe zoom in on a few, but they'll be back. There's about 8 of them around here watching me. I feed them to keep them away from the traps so they don't get in the way. But again, please don't do this stuff if it's not necessary, because it's nothing that's pretty. Survival isn't supposed to be pretty. It's not. But with that note, I'm going to show you this other trap. And if you saw my first video, everybody worries about certain knots so they can recover the cordage. I'm going like this. Hey, just like fishing, you don't put a new hook every time you catch a fish. You know, you don't reset, you don't put a new hook, you just bait it, try to get it back out there. Same thing to me. If I'm trapping and I'm really needing to get that meat to survive, I'm not worried about recovering the cordage right now. I'm worried about resetting that thing so I can hopefully get another squirrel, rabbit, bird, whatever. Yeah, same thing for fish. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to get that fish off that hook, rebait it, get that thing back in the water. Because a lot of these traps can be used for water. The L7 I showed you, it can be used for fishing the same way as you can for land. So, with that being said, I'm about ready to start showing you, and I'll show you the components in just a second. And how you doing? Alright, a lot of them use this, like I said, a lot of it uses the same exact, this one uses almost the same exact setup. Few differences. Okay, if you saw the L7, remember it comes straight down, hooks to another peg in the ground. You got your trigger as the L and the 7. Okay, these are slightly different, but a lot of the same stuff. It still uses a spring pole. What you're going to need, little Y stick. You can do this with 2. I didn't find another one suitable, so I'm going to do it with 1. It is good with 2. I went ahead and done some of this stuff ahead of time. Another stake, pointed it. Only thing is, on this one I did flatten the one side of it. Gonna want that. I'm gonna make a new toggle because it's not an L. Then all you're gonna need is this is gonna be my trigger stick. Okay. Let me do this. I love my little folding saw for this. Just cut 2 little, like I did on the L7, just to hold the cord. Nothing fancy, just a little. I like to go around the whole thing. I'll show you here in a second what it look like. Right there is fine. You know, when you set traps and make them, it's not a precise science. It's not. And just cut this off a little. I can always readjust. And when I cut my stuff, I like to leave it whole. Even when I do the notches in them, I can always trim off what I don't need. It just makes it a lot easier to hold. It just makes it a lot easier to hold when I'm doing it. Okay. Now, if you see here, I just went around, just cut 2 little grooves just to allow my rope, my twine to sit in there. Okay. This is very similar to the L7, except on the L7, if you remember, I have this one in the ground. This is my trigger, where they sit like this. Okay, I'm not using these because it's not the same, but it does use a spring pole, so there are some similarities. What you want to use is a Y stick. I can try to trim this down, but hey, I didn't. But anyway, you can do it with 2. I couldn't find another suitable one, so I got 1. Another one that goes in the ground, I did notch this one down a little bit. I smoothed this side. This is going to allow my trigger stick to sit a little bit better. My trigger stick and my toggle. Okay, I did notch. If you see, I took my little saw that I love, come around the corner, come around this little bitty groove to allow my twine, which I do like the twine, to fit. You could equally use wire on the bottom. It's fine. I have it. I just don't feel like doing it right now today, but you'll get the idea. You can do it with, like I said, you can do it with wire. You can still do it with twine, but for demonstrations today, I'm just going to stick with my twine. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead, take my my spring pole, set my twine on the ground, figure about where I want it. Notice I'm also trying out a new little knife I picked up, another Camillus little pocket knife. But what we'll do is tie this. Well, actually, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead. First, I like doing things a little bit backwards. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and tie my little knot right there, about like that, just to give myself that little place to put my cordage through. That should work. Figure about how far I want this. I like to give myself a little extra. I can always trim it down. And remember, I'm not too worried about saving it, because if I was truly in that situation, I would be resetting it, not worrying about taking it down. When I'm finally rescued, I'll cut the stuff down because I don't need it. There's too many people on YouTube that talk about, I use this type of knot and that type of knot so I can retrieve my cord. Well, I say if you're worried about retrieving your cord, you're not in a true survival situation. Because true survival situation to me means I want to reset this thing. Just like fishing, if you fish, you don't take your old hook off, put a new hook on. You just put a new bait on and fish. You know, you just put your new bait on the hook. After you took the fish off, put some new bait, throw that thing out there so you can catch another fish. To me, it's the same thing. I'm not taking the hook off to redo it. I'm sure in the hell not going to worry about retrieving my line so I can use it somewhere else. If I caught a rabbit in that area, guess what? Rebait it, take the rabbit off, reset it, put new bait down if whatever, and hey, maybe I'll get lucky. Same thing for fishermen, you know that. If you're fishing a good spot, you caught 2 catfish, you're going to stay in that spot. You're not going to worry about getting up. Okay. Now I got my little noose. That's the way I like doing it. I know there's people who do it differently. I do it backwards. But hey, whatever works. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, my ground's a little soft, but I'm going to figure about where I'm going to put this. Bring my spring pole down. Right here at work. Push. Another reason I didn't have to do it too much. I didn't have to do this one too much because the fact that this ground's soft. It's been raining a lot here. Just went up. Dang. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is figure out where I want to put this. If it's too long, I can readjust everything. Take it out just a little bit more. I think that should work. Right about there. Okay, next thing I want to do, I'm going to take my little triggers, my thing here, bring it down. I'll tie this. To it. Just like I've done in my L7. Make sure I still got everything ran right. Yep. Just a little test fit. I may have to go with a smaller. Nope. Should work. I'm going to come down here, or up here. Tie this off to my pole, my spring pole. I've used this spring pole in my other video. Works pretty good. Now, I'm going to, this is how you set this up. If you want to come around here. What you want to do, just like the L7, this is still your trigger. I may have to break this down a little bit, but you want to bring this right around here. Okay, this is what's going to hold it on. Actually, let me shorten that. Let me find me a different one. Go ahead. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I had to change my little toggle switch. It was a good toggle stick. It was a little bit, the original one was a little bit too fat. So you want to play with stuff like that. It wasn't fat, it was too fat to go through here. So what you want to do is, I got my line secured up here. This is how this trap works. Okay, what you want to do is you want to bring it down, take your little toggle, I call it that. I put a little bitty, pick up my knife, put a little notch right here. Nothing like I did before, just a little dip to help secure that. You want to bring it down, tuck it under the crotch of this one, hold it while you take the trigger stick. Let me turn that just a little bit. Put it here. Let me trim this down just a little bit. So hold on one moment. Okay, what I should have done was this. By the way, these are excellent to carry. What I should have done was just double checked everything first. Let's see about how much. I might have got this one pretty much on the money. Okay. See how that's like that? Okay, now you take your loop, lay it over here as much as you can. Now, all traps, by the way, are more useful if you can funnel the animal in, or like this one, put some bait around it. This is how this works. What happens is you have this trigger stick being supported by here and here. It's keeping your toggle holding your snare, your pole line, your sorry, it's been a long day. Holding your spring pole down. That's the only thing that pressure is doing, is keeping that there. So what happens is the animal, now you can make these more sensitive, way more sensitive, by using thinner branches. Demonstration purpose, I'm using like this. You can also use a double Y stick where you got one here and one here, and you got another stick under the crotch, and then you have your trigger stick against it. I don't have another one. I couldn't find another one. I tried, so I'm just doing it this way. But it is still the same trap. What happens is he hits it. He's got him. I'll show you that again. Show you how it sets up again. Now, if you want to come up a little bit closer, get a little bit better of this view, so I can show better. Again, you take your toggle goes up, under, and hold it. Now these will go off real easy. Want to keep this out of the way till you're ready to set it. Hold it there, take your trigger stick, place it up against it. From this pole to that one. Now what you have is a live trap. Now once again, now you take your loop, which is going to catch your animal, drape it over, open it up as much as you can, or as much as you want to. Remember, all these are more effective if the animal has a reason to go into it. So if this is on a game trail, okay, and I was taking some sticks, putting some sticks around here, so let's say this is a game trail, what I would do is I would put some sticks here, some thin little branches in also from that side too, because the animals don't just always come down this way, they can come this way. What I want to do is create a funnel into here. Now I'm not doing that right now, but I am just telling you this is how you would do it if I was doing it, because I need it to. I want to direct the animal either which way into my trap. Weave a little thin branches, some whatever that's got some leaves on it, little bitty stuff that's around me, little tiny little branches. Cut them, weave them in, make the animal have to go through this. It would also help if by doing that, if I also put some bait, some berries, some dried fruit that I might have in my pack from my trail mix or whatever. So what happens is, let's say Mr. Rabbit comes down here, because he's funneled through, he's sitting here. Now you know animals will put their paws on something. So if I got the bait in this area, he's going to sit there. I got him. He's not going anywhere. Well, in this one it didn't do great, but hey, the other one right before that, if you've seen it when I set it off, they are very effective. I can do it again. I'll set it up one more time and show you exactly. So, trigger stick there. Almost set that one off. And you do have to be careful when you set these, because it can, and I am pulling this one out of the ground, so this is about the last time I'll be able to set this one, because this ground is really, really, really soft today. I'm sorry if it didn't go right that time, but the first time I showed you it did. But this ground is getting really, really soft. It's pulling my stuff out. But anyway, so what happens is, here he comes. What he's going to do is he's going to put his feet right here, or his head, or whatever, push down on it. That time it didn't go off. The ground's too soft. But if he did, the first time you saw it, that's how they do work. I'm sorry, they do not. And this is a good demonstration about one thing. They don't always work. Just because you set a trap and you think, hey, it's going to be fun, it's going to be great, they don't always work. Even Les Stroud, Creek Stewart, Matt Graham, they're all going to tell you the same thing. I could set 5 dozen of these and maybe not get anything. There's nothing to guarantee in survival. Nothing. But I will try one more time just to show you guys. I think I can achieve one more. I don't know. Nope, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to let me. But you did see the first, if you watched this video, you did see how it worked the first time. It caught that stick perfectly. However, it's not a guarantee. Nothing in survival ever is. It's not supposed to be. That's why they call it survival. It's not guarantees. But if you watch that first demonstration, that is how they do go. Yes, exactly what happened right now. My ground is so wet here, it's not holding. Now, it probably would if I would have had another Y stick. I could put it here and run it a different way. Unfortunately, in survival, not everything's a given. You might not find every resource that you possibly need. And you have to make do with what you got. You might not have that which is why. Okay. So, if you saw the earlier part, the first when I very first set it up, you've seen how it did work. Unfortunately, the ground's so soft, it's not giving me much opportunity to do it more than I did. And it's already, if you can see, it's just already too soft. And and I know somebody might say, well, why not just move to a different spot in here? This whole ground's like this right now. And I could have waited to another day to do this video, but I wanted to get this one out here too. So I will be doing another one later, one without a spring pole, in case you don't have a spring pole. It's just a simple weight, whether it's a rock, a heavy log, whatever. But I'll be doing that my next one. But as I said, this is also, not only did it show it did work, but it also showed they do fail too. The ground may be too soft. If you set it on a good day and it rained, you know what? It may not be workable the next time, that time, because the ground got too soft and the tension pulled your sticks out. See how easy that was? It's too soft. But I wanted to get this one out there. You did see it did work. It's really easy, but a lot of them, unlike other YouTube people who do show these videos on YouTube, nothing against them at all, but they always show them in the optimal conditions, like the ground's perfect, whatever. I want to show you that, hey, no matter how good you set it up, there's still the possibility it don't work. Nothing's given. It is survival after all, not camping. But if you like these, please like and subscribe. Again, it's free. And as soon as I get my new logo done, I already said it in another video of mine where I was just talking about a myth, that I'm going to be making packets of, I'm going to be having a new logo where you can put it on be clear, to where you can put it on a coffee mug, hopefully your stainless steel water bottle, whatever you feel like putting it on, a bumper sticker, and perhaps an iron-on. I'm working on those right now. And to each subscriber, when I get them done, when I let everybody know they're done, and I show what they look like on this channel, that if you send me your email address to where I can contact you, I'll be sending them out free of charge for the first time subscribers and everything. If you want more, I haven't figured out how much those will cost yet because I haven't got all the figures done. But if you want it more, you can purchase them. But hopefully you find my channel a little bit different than everybody else's, because I don't believe in practicing things before I do it in front of you. I really don't. If I fail, I want you to see I failed. I don't do like others. That's like, and I don't hawk the best. I do not hawk the best merchandise out there. I don't have no affiliation with anybody. I don't pick anybody's products over anybody else's. I've always said buy what you can afford. Buy the best that you could afford. Rain gear, I like Frogg Toggs. They're best to me.